All right. Thanks everyone for showing up and listening to this podcast. Today we're going to be discussing the ethics on free college. So, for many people, college is too expensive, which I'd say has become an ethical issue because lower income families can't afford to attend college and have the opportunities to climb the social economic ladder and get other careers like many other people that can't afford college. So, and this idea kind of impedes on this equal opportunity as a natural right that we like to believe in. So, uh, if we're talking about free college, we should probably discuss two things. So, two ethical issues, and that would be where are we getting this money? So, where is the money coming from? And I'd say another question would be how would this affect students and their class status as a result of what we do with the money?
Well, in regards to where we can get the money from, we can easily take some money from the military budget. Everything in general in the military is so cheap. They definitely don't need all the funding that they get. In just the past fiscal year, they had a budget of 1.52 trillion and didn't even touch all of it. Over 190 billion dollars of that is just left over and completely wasted. What is spent in general too is normally wasted as well on projects that don't go anywhere. The Army and the Air Force are like the worst about it out of all the branches. They spend so much trying to make these futuristic combat technologies and systems that fail, and then they just spend more trying to redo the same project that fails again. On top of that, the country is in so much debt in general that there's not even a way to validate all this money being spent and wasted. All those wasted funds add up to billions of dollars more that could easily be spent towards furthering the country's education in a way that'll directly and positively impact its citizens.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think this is gonna anger a ton of older people who kind of forgotten what it's like to struggle with student loans. I don't think they're going to come to terms with the fact that they have to pay more taxes so that us students don't have to worry much financially. Also, they might get jealous of the fact that they have to struggle themselves with student loans, and now the younger generation just gets a free pass. Hopefully, though, if this idea were to actually come into fruition, older generations would take into account the fact that students nowadays have to pay disproportionately more in student loans compared to students decades ago. So, Eric, can you pull up the numbers real quick for me?
Yep, sending them your way now.
All right, I just got them. So in 2005, we're looking at 520 billion of total student loans compared to in 2022, where that figure almost triples to 1.76 trillion, which honestly is nowhere near where it should naturally be if we were to only factor in inflation.
So let's talk about how this will affect students in regards to their class status.
Yeah, so it's pretty clear that this reformation will affect different students and just the American people in general in different ways. To start, the upper class will obviously bear the brunt of this. So, according to the Federal Reserve, the richest 1% owns 38.6% of the wealth in the United States. So, for reference, that's almost double the entire wealth that the bottom 90% owns. This proposed solution will balance these scales a little by raising the income tax on that top 1%. Sure, those families and individuals will probably not take this very well, but still their tax dollars are going to a necessary cause. Plus, their kids are also getting free college. With that said, the rest of the population will be able to live with just that much less financial stress. I'll let Dylan build more on that.
Yeah, so obviously this would mainly help out the lower class students. Allowing free or lower cost college would remove the financial constraints that keep them from attending college and allow them to go to the school that best suits them. Students should not be forced to go to state schools because it's relatively more affordable than the ridiculous out of state rates, even if those schools may be more beneficial for students. In 2016, it was shown that students whose families were in the lowest income quartile paid an average net price equal to 94% of the family's yearly income. This unbearable cost forces students to take out loans at a young age and pay them off for the rest of their lives, making it exponentially harder for them to create any generational wealth, and many even have a negative net worth.
All right, well, I think that concludes our podcast, and I hope everyone kind of learned a lot about what what impacts would happen if we try to make college free and how we could possibly make that happen. and what that influences everyone and we factor in. So thanks for listening to the podcast and have a great day.